that you that you that um you could you could do so much.
Can I put music on?
I don't know.
There's people here.
What is it? What? What do you have in the background?
So these are just the default things. Oh, look.
Wow. Mm, broke.
Hey, everybody. So full disclosure, YouTube just gave me a pop-up that said if I do YouTube lives at least once a month, I could gain between 5 and 8% more subscribers on average. So, um, so, so this is. I guess that algorithmically it'd be good if I did this. Hang on, I'm just going through my presets here that YouTube had. Ooh, I'm drowning. Help! Send me a super chat, guys. I'm drowning. Ah, oh no.
Why don't you
That was a good
just do
one.
some NPC stuff?
Yep, send a super chat and
I'm drowning so good.
I'll go. Drowning, so good. Okay, I am audible. That was the main thing I was concerned about. Let's see what else we got here. A boat. I bought this with my bread tube millions. With my bread tube millions of dollars. Yeah, all of that. This was just from. What was like my last like big. This was all from the Bon Appetit video that for some reason is by far the most watched thing on this channel, even though nobody has ever referenced it to me like a month after it came out, which is fine. I don't really like that video that much. Ooh? Okay. So, how's it going, everybody? Oh, wait. I can also do my pictures. But hang on a second. Sherlock. Sherlock, come here. Say hello to everybody.
No, he's gonna growl. He's gonna go grr.
Sherlock, say hello. Huh?
Oh.
There you go. It's a little Sherlock. Sherlock cam. I think I might need to moderate chat a little bit, possibly. Probably a bad idea to. I will not be glowing today, folks. Let me tell you that. No glowing on this channel, thank you. I have no thoughts on current events. I'm just sleepy. Let me look over pictures I've got here. Nope, nothing else. I'll just leave this picture up. Q&A for like 5 minutes, and then I'll probably stop doing this because I feel like the novelty is going to wear off very quickly. But yeah, once again, if anyone sends any super chats, I'll be sure to do like a little ice cream. Yum ice cream. Really good. Ooh, hot dog. Yummy. Delicious. Do you have any thoughts on what I should play on the Xbox 360? So I bought an Xbox 360 when it came out and got the Red Ring of Death. Um, and I played Gears of War. I got it with my Xbox, and then about halfway through playing it, I got the Red Ring. And I did buy it used, so I couldn't just return it. So that sucked. Let's see. What's a game that's like technically on the Xbox, but I have played and enjoy. Um, oh, thoughts on the Silent Hill 2 remake. So here's the thing: I was just watching someone live stream it who was like a big fan of Silent Hill 2. Like I'm a massive fan of Silent Hill 2. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Um, But I played the remake and I actually quite enjoyed it. There's a lot of things I'm not that into. Like, there's a certain uncanniness about the original game that I think is a huge part of the atmosphere and I really enjoy. Like, most of the performances, I actually prefer the original. And then there's just like a few things where I kind of don't like how homogenized the gameplay feels. Like I've been playing through The Last of Us Part Two for no particular reason over the last few days, and it's like funny how many like specific gameplay elements are basically just like Silent Hill Two is basically Resident Evil remakes mixed with some Last of Us stuff. Mixed, which is itself like the Resident Evil remakes, kind of a cribbing from like Last of Us stuff, which is itself cribbing from other stuff. And then like obviously there's some Dead Space stuff mixed in there, so it does feel quite homogenized. But I can't deny that just like seeing, I enjoy seeing the reinterpretation of this story that I love. Um, I do like seeing it in a new light, even if it feels almost like a Hollywood reimagining of Silent Hill 2. I think if they had tried to, I would like to see like a good remaster of the original game. Um, I don't necessarily think that that's in contradiction with bringing out this remake, especially if it does quite well. Which, as far as I know, it has done quite well. I think.
Can I give
Um,
my one take about the Silent Hill
Brit
remake?
has one take.
I would love for them to do a Silent Hill 4 remake because then I feel like they could actually give it the time that it needed and deserved because it was really rushed in the original one. So, just as an idea, you can take the notes, you can take all the stuff that would have gone in that game originally, and then just make it better. Since people like Silent Hill, just do it. It's good. That's it.
I have seen stuff about the Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition. I have not played it. If it is, I think have I played it? No, I don't think so. I do have Silent Hill 2 on the PS2. By the way, the only reason I'm in vertical mode right here is because specifically when YouTube gave me the little pop up that said, doing YouTube Live at least once a month can increase your viewer engagement by up to 6%. It specifically said vertical lives. So if you prefer, I can switch us to horizontal. So we're going to do a little straw poll in the chat. I'm happy to consider that. Um, Something about Mass Effect. Mass Effect's cool. Me and Britt did a Renegade playthrough, right?
No, we didn't play Renegade. We were kind of more.
Oh, we tried to do like a little bit of both, and that's one of my two main major critiques with like the morality system in Mass Effect, like the Paragon Renegade
Sorry.
stuff is
You have the
if you
nonsense
try to
or
be
the
like an
big
in between
head.
person, it actually ends up fucking you over. Like there's certain choices that just can't be made if you're like a middle of the road person. I'm trying to think of good examples right now, but in general, it often feels like you're hamstringing yourself when you don't 100% commit to Paragon or Renegade. And then the only other thing that bugs me is Renegade. It feels like there's never a clear conception of what Renegade really means because oftentimes, like sometimes the Renegade option is just being a fucking horrible person, just doing something that's like incredibly cruel. Again, I haven't played the game in a while, so I can't think of examples. I just remember how I feel. Uh, I just felt like I was being really cruel, and then sometimes Renegade is just basically like libertarian-y, I believe in freedom, like fuck, the orders. It's like more like a chaotic. Renegade is more like chaotic, and sometimes Renegade is more like evil. And it just kind of bugged me. The It's like it feels like if I'm actually role playing the game as a renegade person, I feel like my characterization is constantly going a little bit weird. I think the first game struggles with it more. Anyway, more questions. I'm gonna go for another 10. I don't want to set like specific times for myself, but I'm just gonna go for a while. Oh, hey. Oh, thank you for the $5, Kyle. Is there any possible? Would you like Let me know if you want me to do like ice cream so good or what's the other ones they do?
Uh, bubbles, pop, pop, pop.
Bubbles, pop, pop, pop. There you go. Thank you. um, my favorite color. I've gone through a lot in my years. Teal, perhaps. No, I like a hot pink. I like a hot pink actually. For a while I liked teal. Brit's favorite's
See,
teal.
if you had a father figure around, you wouldn't like hot pink because
So
it's
yep.
such a non-manly
So that's
color.
it. I'm hot pink and Brit is teal. We are truly millennial stereotypes. We have nostalgia for an 80s we never experienced. Are you buying the Switch too? Probably not.
I
I have
think
no real
not for a
plans to purchase
while.
it.
I think because I've learned that Nintendo will always release like a new updated version of it, like a year and a half later, 2 years later. So if I want it, I'll wait until then. But I'm also not very keen on the whole like the 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 physical copies are just the code. So I'm not. Nah.
Thank you
I'm
for the
upset.
Thank you for the $2, Evil Mark Wahlberg. Sadly, I stopped watching after the third one, but I did quite enjoy that one. Specifically, the part where Optimus Prime rips that guy's head off, and he no Optimus, no! And he goes. That was fucking incredible. Probably the best thing that happened in any Transformers, and definitely better than anything in Transformers One. Thank you. Also, ice is bad. I don't like ice. Okay, next question. Thank you. Next question. By the way, what did people say about vertical versus horizontal? Also for the $2, pop 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 bubbles, pop pop pop. Um, yeah, horizontal versus vertical. If we're good with vertical, or we want to switch, we need to switch over. I'm good. Um, Sorry that your message was held for review, Troy Walker. Your wife is so transparent. That's fine. You can say that if you want. I'll leave that. Um, Another moderator has handled this. I didn't realize there was another moderator in here. I probably shouldn't be saying that out loud. But yeah, just like for the record, this is a very impromptu kind of live stream. I mean, I don't really know what's happening. I have a little overlay at the top here, and it's all fucked up already. So I don't actually know what's going on, and I can claim no responsibility for anything that's said in this chat. Vertical is funnier. Okay, I'll leave it that way. Vertical's okay. Hi, Elva Ghost. What's my favorite kind of ice? Like a slushy. Slushies. I really like slushies that much because I feel like every time I drink them, I just get it's like really sweet syrup, and then it's just the ice
Ice.
clumps. Yeah, it's very delicate. It's a delicate drink. It's very hard to get the right balance where you know, you're not just messing around. Do I like dry ice? We did actually go to a place in Nottingham. There's like the Alchemist. Is there any Nottingham chatters in here who are familiar with the Alchemist Bar? It's basically like one of those Instagram spots where they just charge you overpriced cocktails so that you can show off how cool they look. But there was a lot of dry ice involved, and I got some kind of cocktail. I don't remember what it tasted like. I think it was like it tasted alcoholic. Um, Mostly just sweet though, but there was dry ice coming off it. It was like, oh, it's a potion. It's like, wow, it's just like I'm a Hufflepuff. Anyway, Alchemist Bar with dry ice in Glasgow. Oh no, is it a chain? Have I been fooled into supporting a chain
Oh
location?
no.
Terrible. Is this TikTok? I believe so. I believe everything is TikTok now. Thoughts on laundry baskets? Um, no. No particular thoughts.
uh,
No particular thoughts on that.
I
How
like
d-
them.
how does Brit feel about the various spellings of Brittany?
um, I'm okay with them, I guess.
Where did the dog go?
I just. Where did the pup go?
Sherlock.
Sherlock!
Sorry, continue, Brett. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Um, so when people spell it like Britney Spears, it's like I get it, and also I pronounce it Britney, so I also get it. I just don't know like how people could put so many N's or T's in Britney, or they just I don't know
I did
spell it
always.
like brats
Obviously, I might be
maybe.
biased, but I did. I've always preferred the TTANY way over the ITNEY,
Yeah,
Like Britney Spears. I've always preferred
as long as you're
Brittany,
not putting like
personally.
EIGH at
I,
the
I,
end.
I'll say there was. Look, Twin Steel. There was a significant portion of my life. I was going to say childhood, but I'll just say life, where I wish that my name was spelt without a C. Um, yeah. Also, I still want the goggles. If anyone could procure me some Jack and Daxter goggles, that'd be pretty
I
cool.
will
I'd
say
wear them in every video.
I used to not like Britney, the name Britney, just because of like the association with Britney Spears, like when she was like very popular. Because every time somebody heard my name, it'd be like, "Oh, like Britney Spears," and I'm like, "Rrr." But now I'm Britney bitch, so it's fine. I accept it.
Your boy Lucky Mystery asks favorite song right now. So I've been going for a lot of jogs to like a lot of jogs lately. I keep finding myself listening to that one Pink Pantheress song that sounds like it's from like a Sonic game. I think it's called Another Life. It's Another Life. I'm really good at singing Pink Pantheress' songs. But yeah, no, she's great. I've been listening to a lot of her stuff recently.
You really like Haters Anthem too.
Yep, is that Infinity Song?
I think so.
Yeah, and I think it's Infinity Song. They did Haters Anthem, and I like that song a lot too. I think they did like another one that's like Sinking Boat, Sinking Ship, or something like that. Why should I? I'm not good at remembering lyrics in general. I get the vibe out of. I mostly enjoy the vibes of songs. That's the thing is like often I'll be like, oh, I really like this band or I really like this song, and then people be like, oh yeah, and then they'll like quote a line from as the track or a track, and I'll be like, because I just listened to the song 1,000 times, never actually listened to the lyrics of it. Just that kind of guy. Okay, Pink Pantheress. I believe she first gained notoriety. I could be wrong on this, but I thought she first gained notoriety doing a collaboration with Ice Spice in the Boys a Liar Part
Two.
2. Yep, I'm an expert in all things Ice Spice. Favorite Pokemon arranged in no particular order. Uh, Porygon is my favorite. I'm also a big fan of Voltorb because he looks so angry. Britt,
I'm a basic bitch. I like Eevee. I like all the evolutions. I like all the dog Pokemon. Like Lillipup. It's cute. I just like ones that are cute. I'm very basic. But
nothing wrong with liking Eevee. There's a reason that Eevee is a beloved
I will say
Pokemon.
I probably get Flygon all the time, like on my team. If like there's like a Trapinch somewhere in
Hmm.
like that particular region's game, I will put that one on my
Oh,
team.
who's that one Gen 5 like spiky guy? He
Uh,
was like big in the competitive Pokemon, but that's not why I liked him. But he was like a big competitive Pokemon thing.
Gen 5
I
Spiky.
think it was Gen 5. Because I don't want to seem like a Gen 1er because I just said two Gen 1 Pokemon and I said they were my favorites. Ferrothorn. I like Ferrothorn. So that's the thing. I was very attached to my Theraphorn back when I played Gen 5. I will admit to you right now that its name was Kanye. But this was a long time ago. This was obviously back when Black and White came out. Um, and I liked it. I
2010?
didn't know that it was like a big competitive meta thing, but I liked my Theraphorn a lot. I was very attached to it. I also had a Golurk that I liked, whose name was Bowie. You can kind of guess what the theming was of these Pokemons based on that. Um, I forget what I named my starter actually, but yeah, no, I had a Golurk and a Ferrothorn. I was very attached to them both. Unfortunately, Golurk is a terrible Pokemon. Uh, Kind of a glass cannon, but it's like it at a certain point it just dies in one hit no matter what. It sucks.
Aw.
It has a lot of weaknesses, I think, also. Unless I'm thinking of a different Pokemon. But it was, yeah, it's like the big ghost armor guy, right?
Isn't he
Golurk?
Ghost
Or
Rock?
Steel? Is it? I don't know.
Is it Ghost
I think
Rock?
it's a yeah, it's a golem guy. So yeah,
Something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. We'll introduce you to leftism, the Matrix. How are we feeling about the new Rimworld expansion, Jack? So I haven't even gotten around to playing Anomaly. Actually, I haven't even played Royalty. I've really just messed around with Biotech and what's the other one? Ideology a bit. Mostly I just play with a ton of mods on Rimworld, so I'm kind of stressed right now by now that the expansions come out. There's like the updates. All of my mods are gonna break, so I just can't really play Rimworld for like a few months until everything sorts itself out. So I'm a little worried about that. But in general, I'm never that fussed about Rimworld expansions because it's just like I play with so many mods that it's kind of its own thing at this point anyway. But also, I haven't played that much RimWorld anyway because RimWorld for me is definitely one of those games where if I click the play button on it, 6 hours will just immediately disappear. Like it's basically my delete my free time game. Like I've been on and off on Cookie Clicker the last few days, but at least with Cookie Clicker I can like literally just close the window at any time and then carry on my day. Whereas with RimWorld I get so caught up in like the narrative of my characters or whatever that I just really want to like continue on and like, oh, this thing needs to get fixed, or like, oh, these guys showed up and now I need to deal with this raid, and it's like, oh, now I can build a new part of my town, and I also have the save our ships. Sorry, this is meaningless to anyone who hasn't played RimWorld. There's like a mod you can get where it's like building a ship. And I've been building this giant ship for like years of in-game time at this point, and it's like a major project. Uh, and yeah, so like I can get into some RimWorld if you give me the chance to. Thank you for the $2, Noel Robles. Here's my $2. God bless. Super chat. Yum yum. Super chat. So good. Britt, you have some good book recommendations, I'm sure. Britt
Uh,
reads books all the time. Oh, I will just quickly recommend the book
Make
that
your recommendation.
I will recommend it, despite the fact that I have not yet finished it, to Why We're Getting Poor. Oh, well, this is pretty fucked. There you go, there. Why We're Getting Poorer by Unlearning Economics. So if you're familiar with the YouTube channel Unlearning Economics, they did a book, and I've been reading it a little bit, and I've been enjoying it so far. As someone who is not that into reading economics. Britt, you can now do so. Now, Britt actually reads books all the time. So
So
there you
I
go.
guess the most recent one that's like really messed with me is The Knife
Hi,
of Never
Gabe.
Letting Go by Patrick Ness. Um so it's in a trilogy, so I'm gonna go through the trilogy next, but oh my gosh. Basically it's about this kid who's on this new colony planet, like just imagine Rimworld. Um but it's like a weird planet where everybody can hear each other's thoughts and stuff, including the animals. So I won't go too much into it because it would spoil a lot. But it's a very good sci-fi novel. It made me cry. Um, Now I need to figure out what happens next in it. Also, I've been reading like kind of more like children's books actually, because I'm just thinking about like what I want to expose my child to. If you like The Wild Robot, like that new DreamWorks film, I really recommend just reading the book itself because it's a little different than the DreamWorks film, and I think it was better actually. And that's my hot take.
The book was better than the
I
film.
think the book was better than the film.
Wow. Wow. Also, someone asked if you have read the 5th season.
I have not, but that is on my to be read list or
Brit has a
whatever.
big list of books.
I have a
Big,
big list of
big
books.
list.
I have so many books now because I was like, Jack, if I get the Chaos Walking trilogy, because that's what the Knife of Never Letting Go, that's what the trilogy is called. Um, then I don't have to pay like more for shipping if I get more books. So can I get like £50 worth of books? And then I
We've
went
got the books.
overboard. Um,
That's where all the BreadTube money goes, folks. It goes
but
straight to Brit's
it went
books.
to Oxfam, and Oxfam's been doing some nice things, and they're pro-Palestine, and they've been donating to Palestinian charities. So in a way, that money will somehow eventually reach there.
Help
And then
people.
I'm buying
That's good.
secondhand books, so I'm not being too much of a consumer. So that's my recommendation.
You listen to Limetown. Is Limetown the one where it's like there's the episode that ends with the person like slamming the door really fast and they're like, "Don't go to the town," because that freaked the fuck out of me. If I'm thinking of the right thing, I think I remember enjoying Limetown anyway. Um, I don't know if there was more than one season of it. I don't know, but I think I did. I did listen to it. I enjoyed it. $10. Thank you very much, Hustle Bun. Thank you. Yummy burger. Your content renews my hope. Thank you. Have you watched Severance or Andor? I've watched both of those. Free Gaza, protect trans kids. You both rule. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, no. So actually, Severance. I've just now realized I'm still halfway through season two. I, s- I know that like people are sort of sick of like binge culture or whatever with like streaming where everything comes out all at once and it's just like a week passes and suddenly nobody cares anymore about like the thing. Um, but in general, I hate watching stuff week to week because I feel like by the end of the season, I'm like totally lost on like what things that happen at the start because it's been months usually since I like I'll get distracted. Like I have these fixations on things, and I really like to just like dig into something and just like kind of obsessively think about it. And I really hate having to take like weeks of space between the things because then I end up with a little bit of a lack of investment in it just naturally. But I do really like Severance. I feel like I'm getting the feeling, and again, I've only watched half of season two, that the Severance is getting a little bit losty in the sense that it's much more interested in posing like, oh, find out next time maybe what's going on here, rather than just being like an interesting social commentary that I think the first season was like very tightly written in that way. But in general, I'm a big fan of Severance, and Andor is obviously fantastic. Andor is kind of what I actually want from a Star Wars thing, and I'm glad that it's generally well received. Yeah. Andor is. I guess it can be a little bit slow at times. Like there was maybe a couple of episodes of Andor where I was kind of like, okay, we can move on now. But in general, yeah, like the way it's able to build tension, obviously, like the political parallels through like so many parts of the story just make it feel like it's this very enough grounded is the word because I'm not just looking for Star Wars to become this realistic thing, but I appreciate the thought and care that has gone into the world as opposed to just like, hey, here's some cool stuff. Yeah, I don't necessarily think Star Wars should be without like the fantastical stuff. If I have one significant criticism of Andor, it's that I don't feel like there's enough aliens. I feel like more aliens would be cool. Thank you for the $5, Mayor Def. Very hyped to catch a live. Nothing groundbreaking to say, but grateful you've continued to create with your unique perspective. Cheers. Oh, thank you. Um,
Too spicy.
oh, spicy. Oh, no, spicy. Cool. Actually, I like spicy food. That's the irony of it. Have you played Goodbye Volcano High? No, I haven't. I've also not played the other one that was like I think a hateful 4chan parody that then became kind of earnest, and then some people like it more. It's like Snoot something. In any case, I've had both of those recommended to me by different groups of people, uh, and yeah, no, but maybe at some point they're like visual novel type things, right? Alan Wake 2. I would definitely consider it. My thing was, unfortunately, I played through Control, and while there are elements of the narrative and the setting that I enjoy, I really hated the gameplay. I found it extremely tedious and repetitive, and fundamentally mismatched with what they were trying to do with like the atmosphere of the game itself. And I was kind of worried as a result that Alan Wake would be similar to that. So and also I haven't played Alan Wake 1, and it kind of I hesitated to because I really didn't have a good time with like the gameplay of Control. But I definitely have a lot of things I do like about Control, so I would be perhaps willing to give it a shot in the future, especially because I have heard that Alan Wake 2 has like a lot of weird meta commentary elements, and I always usually like stuff that's like weird meta commentary on the medium and stuff. Um,
It was red or green salsa.
Red or green salsa? Was that a question?
I think so.
Uh, I'll take it Christmas style. Thank you very much. Uh, if you guys pronounce it tomato or tomato, then how come you don't say potato or potato? Next question.
Tomato, potato.
Fish and chips or shepherd's pie? Fish and chips. I haven't had shepherd's pie in a very long time. Are you referring to a cottage pie? Christmas style is correct. Thank you very much. I've been to New Mexico multiple times actually. It's pretty cool. Yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Got nearly 100 people here. This is very dumb. So we are 10 minutes over the time that I said I was going to do this. I feel like I'm doing this very earnestly at this point. But, I can hang out a little bit longer if you want. That's fine. I guess I haven't really got much going on. What time is it? I got a smartwatch. My smartwatch says, "Oh no. Oh no. Ah! 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 Sherlock, no!"
Your smartwatch says, let's see.
It's midnight. Bedtime for the baby. Have you seen the Swindon's Magic Roundabout? I don't think so. I don't think I have, actually. Right, I'm just going to scroll up real quick. Favorite pizza? I actually like Chicago deep dish. Um, but actually, I would take, if it was just a regular pizza, anchovies and black olives. Uh, what is your take on the Hawaiian pizza debate? It's fine. I don't mind it. I'll take an anchovy and pineapple if you want a little bit of sweet and salty.
You just really want to make
just
people upset.
just trying to upset people. Fuck yeah, deep dish rep. I will allow that message. It will not be held for review. Yeah, I think deep dish gets a lot of shit for no reason. And you know what really should get more shit is the St. Louis style pizza that nobody's ever heard of, except for people in St. Louis. I think some of them. Fucking provolone cheese and little biscuit cracker crust tastes like a frozen pizza. Bullshit. And everyone was like, "Oh, give it a try. It's an acquired taste." I mean, it's the taste of a frozen pizza. Is it St. Louis?
Yeah, it is St. Louis style. It's the cracker pizza.
The weird cracker pizza. Yeah, it's like no, it's not provolone. It's like Provel, something like that. Twin Peaks or Twilight Zone? Twin Peaks easily, but that in fairness, I haven't watched that much Twilight Zone. But Twin Peaks is probably the most important piece of media that's ever existed. I'm a whole damn town. Sorry, that was a little Andy ref for you. X Files or Supernatural? I haven't watched either of them. Sonic Adventure 1 or 2. Whichever one lets me escape to the city.
That's 2.
That's 2. So it's 2.
Sonic Adventure 1 had the better Child Garden, I think. But Sonic Adventure 2 is probably the better game. So it's rough.
Oh, can I do like ice cream so good stuff, but for like Twin Peaks lines? So I can be like, damn good coffee. Damn fine. But also right now I can't think of any other lines in Twin Peaks for some reason. There's a lot of great Twin Peaks lines and... I understand cellular phones now. That's a little Lucy line for you. Um, favorite Batman. I like Robert Pattinson Batman. I think he's pretty cool, and I'm sad that he's going to be 50 years old before he plays Batman again. What's going on with that movie, man? When's that movie coming out? Whoa! Patrick Collins, thank you very much. Long time viewer here. Here's a little something to celebrate my arrival. Damn fine coffee. Damn, damn fine coffee. There we go, folks.
Well,
I love One Piece. What's your experience with it? Oh, we were watching. What was the thing? The
One
abridged
Piece.
One Piece. We were watching One Piece, and we were enjoying it. Actually, we got through to the Kingfishers. I don't know. I forget at this point. Name all of like the first few arcs, and if you just keep naming them, I'll tell you to stop when I've got reached the one that I got up to. I was enjoying it though, actually. Um, I
Uh,
like Luffy. I like Luffy. He's a cool guy. I like
okay.
Sanji.
Well,
It's probably been like a year since we started doing that, but it's just still a lot to commit. Even with the abridged, like the one, it's like the version of it where they cut out some of the filler, but like edit it down. It's pretty cool. But even then, it's a big undertaking, you know. And it's just like, again, with the way my brain works, I can often get distracted by stuff. We're like halfway through Persona 4, and we've been that way since a year ago. We had like a month where we literally did nothing but play Persona 4, and then we got up to something involving Nanako, and then we just sort of moved on. And now we keep saying, oh, I need to get back and finish Persona 4 because we like Persona 5, and we want to play Persona 3. Golden, this is Persona 4 Golden, and we want to play Persona 3 Reloaded. Unless someone in chat wants to make a good argument for why we should play the original Persona 3. Fishman, Arlong Park? I think it's Arlong Park. Yes, Arlong Park, I think. Oh no, wait, what's the one where it's like a desert? There's like a desert or something? Does that come up before or after Arlong Park? Where there's like a desert they go to. I'm just if there's more than one arc involving a desert, then I'm really fucked here. But a desert? Is there a desert? Is there a desert arc? Arabasta, that's it. Because I kept thinking it was Alabasta. Arabasta. It's after desert. So yeah, I was up to Arlong Park then. Because I remembered that anyway. Um, the politics of Persona 4. It's really weird how like they never quite get over Kanji being like, I'm not a gay man. I'm not homosexual. Oh my god. Okay. So, Ebonon, $2. What's the most common type of English tea? I guess Earl Grey. Is that right? Is that the
yeah.
what?
Well,
Oh wait,
like
well, it's sort of obvious, like PG tips.
PG tips.
Yeah, yeah. We have tea, but I don't really drink it much. I just drink coffee for the most part. I do have this, which I think every British child has. Oh no. I think every British child has one of these at some point. Because you can, like, just. Oh no. Monkey,
It's kind
no.
of like having a Sports Direct mug
Monkey,
somewhere
no.
in your cabinet.
Monkey. Monkey.
You get a PG Chips monkey
Monkey
and a
is.
Sports Direct mug.
Monkey is dying. I don't feel so good. I don't feel so good, Jack. Monkey, no. He's gone. Hang on. Does that seem like Tony Stark there? And Bojangles, thank you for the $20. Coffee, so good. PG tips, yum yum. Monkey. All right. If you get to the end of Persona 4, it goes from like moderate conservatism to quasi-fascist or quasi-fascist. Fuck, did I just do Suedo again? But for some reason, no one talks about that. Perhaps I'll talk about it once I've completed Persona 4. I do remember, because I actually watched through the entire Giant Bomb Persona 4 Endurance run, but I remembered very little of the game because I watched that Endurance run when it came out, which would have been like 2009? I feel like it was like 2008, 2009. So I would have been like 14, 15. which is a scary thing. That was literally half of my life ago, if I am correct on the dates. If there's anyone in chat that remembers the Persona 4 Endurance run, Persona 4, Persona 4 Giant Bomb Endurance run. Thoughts on Sinners? Sinners is a very good movie. No real hot takes about it.
I think I just remember laughing in the theater to myself because I didn't know too much about it, but then it was like Clarksdale, Mississippi, and I'm like, yeah, that's about
Yeah,
right.
I'd heard that. Yeah, like this movie is a little bit about racism. Like, I wonder where it's set. Mississippi. Unfortunately, Brits from the state where the only stories that get to be told about it are about racism, which fair enough.
It's fair enough. I'm just more sad that our state has that kind of history, you know. But I understand at the same time, and I'd rather those stories be told than not. I'm
Hmm.
just like, goddamn Mississippi.
Can you oil up and shake it, Jack? Not for free, Cavi Grave. Not for free. Persona 4 is good in a vacuum, but as a trans, that Naoto stuff. Yeah, I mean, I guess the Naoto stuff was supposed to be just like
I accept
she, yeah,
myself,
she
but it
isn't.
was like
It's like
weird.
she isn't respected, so she was just pretending. So it's like in an like you say, in a vacuum. I guess it's just a commentary on, the way that women can be kind of marginalized within certain fields, but it's like very much a trope of like, oh, actually, I'm just pretending because I just don't understand my own feminist issues or whatever. It's like the common trope of trans men being like, oh, you're just like a woman who doesn't, who's just internalized misogyny, whatever, like
Hmm.
weird stuff like that. I think that Naoto is definitely like a difficult character in that way. Um, yeah. Like, I was actually really interesting because now I've obviously finished my replay of The Last of Us Part 2. I think Lev gets into very similar territory because I think in context, it a lot of people doubted. I mean, this has mostly been left to like discourse discussion, but like people aren't really sure if it would really make sense that Lev knows what transness specifically is because obviously he would have been brought up in like a cult, and like the backstory of Lev is that he had an arranged marriage, and that was the primary motivation for Lev to like shave his head and stuff. But like, I don't know. I think that like it's clearly much more core to his identity that he wants to be treated that way, and I think that that's much more explicitly like a trans narrative. Obviously there's like so many Last of Us 2 haters that only hate it because they are like themselves kind of reactionary. So you know they want to paint it that way. It's just like, oh, this is just a story about someone misunderstanding misogyny or something, and everyone's trying to make them trans. And it's like, no, that might have been totally incoherent, especially if you haven't played The Last of Us Part 2. But it's something I've been thinking about anyway, through just like trawling through that discourse again. That discourse, for the record, is not the thing specifically that I'd want to explore again. Not that I'm making a video or anything, guys. I have some other things I want to talk about involving The Last of Us Part 2 that are relevant to current issues. I liked how Lev was handled. Yeah, I also generally did. And I also kind of realized, like, I think Abby is, like, a fantastic character. Abby might be my favorite character in the Last of Us series in general. I think, like, Laura Bailey does such a good performance of her. And, like, on a first playthrough, you're so caught up in just like the emotions of it because you're often going through it with Ellie's perspective, and then it kind of becomes about like, oh, I guess I understand Abby's side of things, and it's like once you're coming into it already understanding all of Abby's motivations and everything, she's just a really compelling, like, fun character. I also like that she's like big tough lady who just like punches the shit out of zombies. That's fun. Um, I think The Last of Us 1 and 2 both are flawed, and like the show, especially the second season, has a lot of flaws also. But I've always had a deep fondness for them, and my appreciation, especially for The Last of Us 2, is growing. Even though I am probably going to be extremely critical of specific elements of it in my next video. Ooh. which you may not be familiar with unless you're familiar with certain discourses by The Last of Us Part 2. Okay, outside of Last of Us discussions, do we have any final questions? Da, da, da.
Somebody did ask,
Yeah, I know.
crunchy or smooth peanut butter. So, give your incorrect answer.
I was crunchy for a long time. I like smooth now. Yeah, I like the texture. I used to like the texture of crunchy, but I don't know. I've just changed as a person, I guess. Originally, I switched to smooth because it was better for like milkshakes, because then you didn't have weird nut granules. You didn't have nut in your milkshake. But now I just prefer smooth in general. Just a nice consistent mouthfeel. Are you excited for the upcoming Mafia game? I haven't played any of the Mafia games, but I've heard they can be pretty good. But they can be pretty good.
I think that's the same thing with like Yakuza. Have you really played any of the Yakuza games?
No,
Yeah.
you know I haven't.
Well,
We need to go through them all together at some
yeah.
point. I mean, it's like that's the thing. I want to get into Yakuza, but it's like how many Yakuza games are there? Like 50? I don't know. And then, what order do I play them? It's all very overwhelming and confusing for me. And how long are each game? How long does it take me to get to the part where the guy eats the sandwich and it's like an extremely intricate animation of him going and eating the sandwich? Or is it just bread? I think he's just eating bread, but it's just an incredible animation of a man eating bread. And I just want to know how long I'd have to wait for that to happen. Always play in release order. That's fine. Yeah, and they're all good. They're all worth playing. There's not like any skips or like, oh, this one's a little bit. It's going to be a difficult hurdle to get over type situation. Because I mean, we've got stuff to get through. Was slowly getting through every Fire Emblem game. What's the best Fire Emblem?
God, I have to think on that.
Rank them to the audience so they can destroy you.
um, well, I was enjoying Genealogy of the Holy War, but then I was hearing rumors that it might have like a remake of it. So I got stuck on like a certain chapter. I think it was the chapter before the time skip or whatever. I won't like spoil too much of the game, and then I just couldn't beat it, and then I just stopped playing it. Then I also was playing Fire Emblem Engage because I just
That's the one with the red and blue hair,
red and blue hair protagonist Chan.
which I think looks cool. I don't care what people say.
And I mean it was fine, like gameplay wise, it was fine and everything. I just also stopped playing it because then I started hyper focusing on reading books instead.
It was LA Noir. By the way, it was LA Noir. Yeah, that I was playing through. I love LA Noir. I love pushing people.
Yeah, because I want to play all of them eventually. I've obviously played the 3DS ones. I did beat, what was the Gaiden remake called? Shadows of Valentia or whatever. So I played through that. I beat it. There was like some bonus chapter where I just got roadblocked, so I stopped playing that because it was just, I was going to have to, I don't know, bash my head in like grinding or something. Because I had just a few characters that I would need for that, but they were like massively underleveled. So that's all of them. Probably I would say I enjoyed Awakening a lot, and probably Three Houses would probably be my favorite, just because I played it with Jack.
Okay. We kind of played it because I did a playthrough and you did a playthrough.
Yeah.
I did the Golden Deer, and Britt did with Claude, and then Britt did Edelgard.
Yeah.
Britt did Edelgard.
Well, I decided to do, like, because I know there was, like, the branching pathways. I won't spoil it too much with the Crimson Eagle route or whatever. So I saved right before that, and I finished one side of the branch, and there's like another side. So I still have to go through that, and then I have to figure out what the fuck happened to Dimitri with I don't know, the cops.
Yeah, I'm interested in playing through the cop one
the
at some point.
the cop
Thoughts on
playthrough.
Lego Star Wars? The Yoda Death Scream. If you could play the Yoda Death Scream, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I liked it. I played it as a little kid, and then yeah, it's cool. It's like a rite of passage for video games.
When little
Play it, Jack and
Bentley
Britt.
plays
Bye,
video,
Twin Steel. In general, I'm
yeah,
gonna go in like 5 seconds.
yeah. When little Bentley starts playing video games, and then the family's like, "Oh, what should I get him?" I'll just say Lego something. Just get him one of the Lego games because it'll probably be all right.
Yeah. Frost Aegis streams. I was streaming because YouTube popped up and said, "Did you know you can get 5 to 7% more subscribers with you, and you do monthly vertical live streams?" So I did that for a bit, but I'm gonna leave in a second here. I will take a final questions, and then we're out here. I'm just going to double check if there were any that I missed or any super chats or anything. Thank you for the people that sent super chats, by the way. I wasn't actually expecting it, although you know ice cream so yum. A hot dog too spicy. Hot dog spicy. Do I enjoy Twix bars? Yep, they're fine, but I haven't had them for a very long time. But that's what the fuck. Okay. Love from Troll Empire. Hi to the trolls. Hang on, let me do the troll face. Oh god. What's wrong with me? Recommend us stuff aside from rewatching all your videos. Watch Noah Gervais's videos instead, because they're very good video essays that you would enjoy. And then you should watch. Oh, I rewatched because I was like on the subject of revenge. I rewatched Blue Ruin, which is a somewhat little known, or at least more niche, sort of horror revenge film, which I feel like is stylistically like weirdly similar in certain ways to The Last of Us Part 2. But yeah, Blue Ruin is a revenge movie, and it's so good. It's got such a sort of like it doesn't pretty up the story that it's telling at all. It just feels like this very vivid portrait of a kind of horrifically sad situation. But it's just like very engaging, very engrossing. I feel like the first time I watched it in theaters, I didn't really appreciate it. But yeah, it's a really cool movie. I don't hear people talk about very much. So I would recommend the movie Blue Ruin and video essays by Noah Gervais. Folks, thank you so much for joining us for this impromptu questionnaire. Do you think maybe like monthly? Maybe monthly I'll do a little pop in, or maybe even weekly.
Oh man.
Maybe even weekly, perhaps. Maybe a little random little weekly one. If there's a specific day that would be best, or time or day or whatever that would be good for people. I guess Friday night isn't the worst, because Friday night it's kind of like everyone's had their work week. They're maybe not doing their weekend plans yet, so they're just fucking around. They want to like mess around for an hour and hang out in the live stream.
I mean,
this is probably the best.
Yeah, next week might be a baby AMA.
Yeah, next week there can be a baby here too. That'd be pretty cool. If we do like a questionnaire and there's like a baby sitting here the whole time,
go, ah.
and the baby goes, we go, Bentley, say ice cream so good. The baby's name it's not actually Bentley, but we will always refer to the baby as Bentley because
it's funny.
It's funny, and I think it's probably good practice for people to not say their child's actual name to their YouTube audience as a way to kind of deter parasocial behaviors. But yeah, Sunday evenings would work. I'd consider it. I guess if I can't do whatever. I mean, maybe I'll never do this ever again. I don't know. I'm just that kind of guy. Maybe I'll just never I'll never feel like doing this again. But I do like hanging out with you all.
Spelled very.
I really like it.
Like
it's fun. It's fun seeing you all. So. It's like, wow, These are real human beings. The internet isn't dead. There is hope and joy in this world for a kind and tolerant community, and I don't need to moderate the chat heavily. And perhaps I will regret saying that in the future. What does the baby think about Squid Game? Uh,
I think when that came
I'll
out,
think about that.
he couldn't hear yet.
Put the baby on the mic. Yeah. I want to see how long it takes the baby to have a hot take. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I will, yeah, possibly be back in the future, folks. Love you. In a non parasocial way. No, I haven't played Magic the Gathering. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.